All right, so let's look at solving equations again. So what's important to note again is that we use inverse or opposite operation. So the opposite of addition is subtraction and vice versa. And the opposite of multiplication is division and vice versa. So we've broken these down into the different types of equations: addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, and so on. So let's look at these first ones. These are addition problems. So first step is we are drawing our line down the equal sign. We are highlighting the variable. The operation that I see in the problem is addition. So the opposite is going to be to subtract. So we have addition, we're going to subtract. We always subtract the same number on that side. So minus 42 from both sides. Remember, it has to be equal on both sides. It should cancel out on the side with the variable. We're left with just x equals, and then I'm plugging in 85 minus 42, which is 43. Next one, number 2, drawing our line down the equal sign, highlighting our variable. What operation do we see? We see addition. So the opposite is to subtract. I'm subtracting whatever number's on the side with the variable, which is 5.5, and we are doing that to both sides. So on the side with the variable, it should cancel out. We're left with A equals 17.3 minus 5.5. So the biggest thing, and it's easy to make mistakes with decimals, just double check your work, make sure you plugged it in correctly. So we get A equals 11.8. Wouldn't hurt to plug into the calculator twice to make sure. All right, these two we're going to have you do on your own, so we're going to skip over to the back where the subtraction problems are. So again, same process. We're drawing our line down the equal sign, highlighting the side with the variable. The operation that I see on that side with the variable is subtraction. So the opposite is to add. What number are we subtracting? 19, so the number we're going to add to both sides is 19. Should cancel out on the side with the variable, and we're left with just G. And then on the other side, I'm adding 7 plus 19 equals 26. The second subtraction one, I'm drawing my line, I'm highlighting my variable. The operation that's on that side is subtraction. The opposite of subtracting is to add. What were we subtracting? 2.5. So we're going to add 2.5 to both sides. It's canceled out on the side with the variable, so the variable's alone. And then on the other side, I'm going to add 1.2 plus 2.5, which equals 3.7. We can leave it like that, or we can flip it around and write m equals 3.7 instead. The next two we're leaving for you to try on your own. All right, multiplication. Same steps, drawing our line, highlighting our variable. We know it's multiplication when the number is written right next to the variable. So we know it's multiplication in the problem, which means we are going to divide to solve. Remember that we want to get away from using the division sign. We are going to use the fraction bar to show division. We always do whatever numbers with the variable. So x is being multiplied by 5. The opposite is to divide by 5. So those will cancel out. 5 divided by 5 is 1x, which is just x. 20 divided by 5 is 4. second multiplication example. Drawing my line, highlighting my variable. We know it's multiplication because the number is written right next to the variable. That tells us multiplication, so the opposite is to divide. Remember, we're getting away from using the division sign, so we're going to use the fraction bar. And we're always dividing by whatever numbers with the variable. So m's being multiplied by 3.4. The opposite is to divide by 3.4. Should cancel out on the side with the variable. 20.4 divided by 3.4 equals 6. These next two problems for multiplication we're going to have you do on your own. So we're going to go into the division problems. Same steps. Draw our line, highlight our variable. We know it's a division problem because we see that fraction bar. So that tells it's division, and the opposite of dividing is to multiply. We always do the operation with whatever numbers with the variable. So it's being divided by 7. The opposite is to multiply by 7. It should cancel out. It should be the same number on the side with the variable, which leaves the variable alone. And then on the other side, we're going to multiply 7 times 42, which equals 294. We can leave it like this, or I can flip it so my variable's on the correct side. R equals 294. And last one, same process, draw our line, highlight our variable. We know it's a division problem because it has the fraction bar. So the operation in the problem is division. The opposite of dividing is to multiply. What number is with the variable? 8. So it's being divided by 8. The opposite is to multiply by 8. It cancels out on the side with the variable. We're left with the variable on its own. And then 12 times 8 equals 96. And then the last two are for you to try on your own.